Hey!
Although I'm already tired. Live from a pre-April Fool's Day, free float Fool's Day.
What is that?
That was terrible. It's an all-new, terrific Tuesday edition of Business Pants, joined by analyst Matt Moscardi. Yeah.
Oh! A lot of tech problems today.
On today's ESG stuffed cronut called March 31st, 2026, another big dumb headlines quiz. Yeah.
Oh. You know, you've used the cronut line before.
Have I?
I think so. I think actually we need... Look, if you're a listener to the show, like a longtime listener, can you start writing down all of Damien's openings?
Not me. It's the writing staff. And the writing staff is complaining this morning because the quizzes take them far too long. What's the payout? They don't really know. It takes forever for these quizzes.
We're going to get an additional listener someday.
That's the payout?
Singular listener someday.
A quiz-loving, cronut-hating listener. Our show today is being sponsored by Free Float Analytics, freefloatanalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power, connections, and performance for free.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I had a cronut.
Let them ring it out.
I love pastries. I love baked goods. It's probably my Achilles heel. It's my number one vice. I had a cronut. It was good, but I don't know. It was, I don't know.
It's fine.
I would not have waited in a line for it.
No, I think
it was sugary and buttery. That's what I'm looking for. But
don't people in New York City wait in lines just to wait in lines
everything
at this point? Like they just they heard about a thing and there's a line outside.
Well, maybe that's part of the fun that I don't understand.
Somebody told me there was an actual study that if you
I told you.
You told me if you put a line outside a New York City store, like people just will line up when they won't even ask.
They don't even know what it is.
That's just standard operating procedure. So cronuts or whatever.
You ready for a quiz? Or you have anything else you want to tell?
I don't have anything else, but today is the day we're supposed to start seeing some updates to the platform. Finally. They may take longer than I want, but I haven't heard from instant. Free Float's back-end guru today, so I guess I'll find out later today.
Who's that, Snuffleupagus? That's an old...
How's that for a throwback name?
Now listen... the good news here is that the platform is free, so no one is entitled to complain. That's the great part.
I know.
That's why we made it free.
This
is why we killed all ability to monetize this company, because we just didn't want to hear anyone complain. So we're willing to be poor because we don't want to hear from you. We don't want you to tell us that Mary Barra is no longer on the board of like Netscape Navigator, the company. Okay, we don't care. It's actually not that bad.
I would actually care.
The data's in pretty good shape.
I would care about that.
I do care too. All right, want to get to a quiz?
Let's do a quiz.
Now, I wish nobody cares about this except for me, but our podcasting service, Riverside, no longer allows me to be a host, so I can't do the buzzer and bell anymore, which sucks.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I'm just disappointed in myself. I want to have some fun.
Why don't you just go ding, ding, ding?
No. In no particular order, we'll start with the headline that you don't care about, that I care about. We'll get it out of the way.
I do care about it.
Now you care about it.
Because it's juxtaposed against some other headlines that drove me nuts. So just do your bit.
This is a long one. Air Canada CEO Michael Rousseau, I love that his name is French, but the dope can't speak French, to step down in 2026 amid recent controversy over French language skills. Now, we covered this story extensively last week. The CEO of a bilingual company in a bilingual country, blah, 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 he's not bilingual. He's unilingual. I don't know how did this guy get the job? Right. I don't get it.
There's a bunch of questions there, right? Like which board is like, you know what? It doesn't matter that you don't speak the two languages that are required to take this job. That number one, they already said that. Number two, did you say step down in 2026?
Yeah,
that doesn't even mean
quarter.
Like now? Like
no, I know.
Now, why?
Is this not the perfect example of men don't give a shit? Like they don't care. Even though he absolutely should have bilingual skills for this job, he's just like, whatever. I'll just do it. I can fake it. Oh, right. I mean, is this not the perfect example of that?
I mean,
you're not responding.
All right, let's go. Do you think he thought he could fake it, or do you think he thought
didn't
no
care.
one's really going to give a shit that I don't?
Yeah, because I'm a dude. My name is Mike. I mean, I'm here. This is my job. All right, let's do the quiz. Did the official press release from Air Canada, did they mention the crash at LaGuardia?
Oh, no way. There's no way. No.
Yeah, that's right. Ding, ding, ding. I don't want to do ding, ding, ding. Did the official press release mention the CEO's inability to speak French as one of the reasons why he's stepping down?
No, they don't. Obviously didn't do that. Yeah.
Can you imagine that you missed those two things? I don't know how. Will he remain on the board?
Oh, well, it's Canada, so it's a little bit different.
That's
right?
a good clue. Yeah.
I would say he's not going to remain on the board when he steps down, but he's not stepped down yet. So I think he's on until he steps down, and then he's off.
You're right.
Yeah.
He's so because it's Canada, he will leave the board. But notice that he's stepping down. I mean, he should have been fired for this, but whatever. According to the board, when did it start the internal succession planning process? So it announced in the press release about succession planning. When did it start it?
I mean, also, they don't want to look bad, right? Like, they're not going to say, like, we started succession planning yesterday. They are going to say something like several months ago they started succession planning. That would be my guess.
In spirit, you got it right. 2 years ago.
Oh, no, I got it wrong. 2 years?
Well, okay, here's the thing.
He got hired like 3 years ago, didn't he?
I'll answer the next question for you. It started the internal succession planning process 2 years ago, the external succession planning 3 months ago. So
I got that one.
But, so you were already, this makes it sound like they were already planning on getting rid of this guy, and yet all this happens in the press. Why didn't they just announce that he's stepping down? Be like, you don't have to yell at me because I'm actually already leaving.
I've been leaving for 2 years.
Yeah. I should have learned French. I'm sorry. I am leaving. So please, you don't even have to go to the legislature in Quebec voted to get rid of him. He should have been like, stay home. You don't have to vote. I'm leaving.
No, I like that they have a long-term succession plan. You're supposed to, right? Somehow, the long-term succession plan still results in him having to stay here until the third quarter of 2026.
Until he screws up so badly in the public eye that he gets fired. Because he got fired, right? He's not stepping down.
But also, wasn't he named the CEO like 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was recent.
It was recent, which means, did they start succession planning immediately upon his becoming CEO? That
maybe like on day one.
Fast.
On day one, when they were talking, they're like, "Oh shit, this guy doesn't know French. Like, who have we hired?"
So, like, one of the board members said, like, "Bonjour," and he couldn't respond, and that was it. They were like, "Fuck, we need to do some succession planning."
Okay, did the press release stick to the Canadian Quebec language laws and use the appropriate accents on Montreal and Quebec? Now, this is part of the language laws. There is that any word that can be written in French and English, you must use the French version with all the right accents. In fact, they don't even let you use the possessive. You can't do like apostrophe S because that's an English convention. So did the press release follow that language convention?
Yes,
and use the accent. Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
but why? Why did it? What? But
because they're quiet quitting the guy who can't use the language conventions. Right?
Let's do a true or false speed round. And this is from the proxy statement. I looked at the last proxy statement. True or false? Air Canada regularly tests the linguistic skills of its 15,000 public-facing employees in respect of Canada's official languages.
Do they test them? Jeez,
yes,
Louise.
They test the yes. True or false?
I'm gonna say true.
True, yes. True or false? Does the proxy state that the company has 2 official languages?
True.
True, yes, that's true. In the CEO's opening letter to shareholders, true or false, does he say we are immensely proud of promoting our official languages?
No, false.
True.
Oh, he did.
Is language proficiency an official skill used to describe directors? Language proficiency for French.
That's not that. How would you describe that as a skill? That's a legal requirement. I don't understand.
Well, true or false, either way.
I'm going to say true because it's so dumb.
True, yes, it's true. True or false, Air Canada, they state in their proxy, it's the only airline required to offer services in both official languages in Canada. True or false?
True.
True. You can see where I'm going with this. right?
I'm sensing a pattern.
Here's my favorite part of the proxy statement. It says that 6, and I'm going to let you guess who you think the missing piece is. 6 of the 7 members of our executive committee are bilingual.
Oh, he's the only one?
Yes.
He's literally the only one.
I mean, this is an utter joke. I mean, I guess I should be happy that he is fired or stepping down or whatever. But I kind of wanted this to linger longer so I could yell at it more. I know you don't care about this.
I just think it's funny.
Asinine. It's asinine.
I mean, like, the whole thing is asinine. Like,
yes. I'm going to repeat. A woman would not have gotten this job.
No.
English.
Come on.
It's impossible.
Forget it. What are you talking about?
Let's move on. That was stupid. Next headline: Xerox board of directors appoints Louis Pasteur as CEO.
Okay. Is that a true or false? Is it?
Can you believe that we're making a quiz out of this crap? All right, here we go. Will he be chair also or director?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Xerox.
What do you think? I feel like everyone's chair. I believe the number is something like 30% of U.S. companies have CEO chair combinations. Xerox is one of the large cappy, ish ones. Used to be really big. I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, I mean, I intentionally misled you here. He's actually not going to be on the board.
What?
I know, right? Maybe he'll be added later, but I was shocked. He's not added to the board already.
So I 100% agree that the CEO does not need to be on the board. But because it never happens in the United States, like, do you think that's basically just a red flag that they don't really want him to be CEO at all? Is that like what does that signal? Because I think it's correct.
Yeah,
but
you have
also
a good spidey
doesn't
sense.
happen.
You have a good spidey sense because let's do the quiz for this company because I don't know if you realize what's going on here. How many CEOs have Xerox had since 2022?
Oh, wow. I don't know, but I'm going to say 3.
Yes, 3 is right. Yeah.
I mean, like, it couldn't be 4 because, like, just the math of it, like, they couldn't even get a new CEO that many times.
How many CFOs since 2025?
Oh,
that's last year, by the way.
You could turn those over fast, though. I'm going to go with 3.
Yes, again, 3.
Yeah.
What is the average board tenure of a Xerox director?
Oh, this could be one of those. It's because it's an old blue bloody American company. These are professionalized boards, typically highly interconnected, and it's probably a board-run company, not a CEO or executive-run company. I'm going to guess 11 years.
Yeah, see, this is what I thought would throw you. Less than 3 years. This board, and the executives here are an absolute
what a mess.
Hectic. It's just hectic.
What a mess.
Now listen to this one. How many different executive positions has Louis Pasteur held at Xerox since 2018? How many different titles?
I'm going to say none.
You're very wrong. It's 9. Executive Vice President.
Titles?
I'm going to name them all. Executive Vice President, General Counsel, Chief Corporate Development Officer, Chief Legal Officer, Chief Transformation Officer, Chief Transformation and Administrative Officer, Chief Administrative Officer, Global Head of Operations, President, and COO. I mean, what's happening?
It sounds like a functional company. When you have 9 titles in the last 8 years, that clearly indicates that you're doing something right.
In the last 8 years, how many times has Louis Pasteur resigned from Xerox?
Oh, no. Well, he had 9 titles.
Yes. How many times has he resigned in that 8-year period?
Well, if he resigned at one point and then came back, I got to say 1. It can't be more than 1.
Yeah, he did. He left in April 2023, and he left for like 8 months, and he came back. And so he still has all this going on.
He's had 9 titles in 7 years, not 8, basically.
And what's weird is that they wouldn't even. It was a very quick line in a proxy statement that he resigned from all executive positions, but there was no filing. There was nothing that said why. I couldn't find anything. He just left for a while.
What are we doing?
I don't know. Finally,
how does that guy the CEO of a company?
Finally, true or false, governance at Xerox has basically been a shit show. True or false?
I'm going to go with true. I'm going to go with true. I'm going to give myself
I haven't
buzzer
seen anything
no
like
matter
this. This is what happens when you dig into headlines, because I haven't seen anything quite as messy as this in a while.
I mean, I bet you, though, if you looked at the director votes of this company, and I have not, I'm going strictly, I came in with no prep. I like none of these questions. I knew
you're not allowed to in a quiz.
I'm not allowed to on the quiz. So I bet you if I looked at the vote results of Xerox, I bet you're averaging 96% in favor of these directors. Can it get worse than this in terms of turnover and stupidity? Right? Like, and you read the headline and it's like, Louis Pasteur, first of all, like, great that he's basically got the name of the guy who invented pasteurization.
And I'm glad that you pointed it out because that's originally why I cited this. I was going to do some dumb jokes, but then I looked into their governance. I didn't
have to.
I didn't have to
do any dumb jokes.
So to your point, you're right. At the last annual meeting, everyone, high 90s for everybody.
So explain to me, investors, and not Damien, I mean investors. Explain to me how a guy who had 9 titles in 7 years, who resigned and came back, he's a company that's had 3 CEOs in the last 4 years, who's had 3 CFOs in the last 1 year.
Yeah.
Explain how the governance at this company is good enough to give every director high 90s of approval. What the fuck are you doing?
This is why I mentioned tenure, because they're all basically new. So it's kind of hard to know who to blame.
Well, they should all be the investors. You should feel totally empowered to vote them all out.
Let's move on.
Bananas.
Speaking of investors, speaking of votes on.
Well, wait a minute.
Wait.
Those Xerox directors that were on the board over the last 5 years or 7 years or whatever, they still have other board positions. And if they ran Xerox this way, what makes you think they don't run other companies this way from the board position? It's not just vote out the Xerox directors. Those are people who suck at their jobs. You can vote them out everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Is that a Xerox joke?
I don't think
let's
so.
move on. Starbucks held its annual meeting a few days ago.
This is what pissed me off about Air Canada. Yeah.
Good. I picked the right headline. Let's do a quiz. Maybe you already know this then. What's the average support for directors?
I know exactly what it is. 95.7%.
Yeah, that's right. 96%. I don't do decimals here. 96%.
Well, it's 95.7.
How many directors with 99% support?
I believe there was only one. I think it was Marissa Mayer.
Well, there were 4, but you're right. She was she won.
Was the high.
She won.
Yeah.
Who had the lowest support?
Andy Campion with
so you know all this because
this
quiz is a bomb because I would assumed you would have said Beth Ford.
No, so Campion is the head of the audit committee, and I cannot figure out why they targeted him and not Jorgen Nordstoop, the lead independent director, air quote independent.
Didn't Glass Lewis and ISS say vote against Beth Ford?
They said vote against just Beth Ford.
Yeah,
just
but she still
Beth Ford.
But it shows the power of those two entities. She still had 92% support.
No, it shows the power of everyone's afraid to do what they say anymore and or afraid to vote against management for any reason whatsoever.
Well, I will say the good news here is that the vote against Andy Campion aligns with the vote against Sam Pei. It's basically the same. So maybe people are finally listening to us.
He wasn't the head of comp, was he? Wasn't he the head of audit?
Oh, you just said he was the head of comp. Okay.
I said audit.
Oh, okay. Then maybe they got it wrong.
I think they just figured, I believe he's the head of audit, not comp. Maybe he's comp too. I don't think so, though.
I might be wrong. I misheard you. The Accountability Board submitted a shareholder proposal requesting supermajority shareholder voting requirements be replaced with majority voting requirements.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The board, oddly, gave no recommendation.
Yeah.
So based on that, what do you think the percentage of shareholders who supported this proposal was?
97.9%.
Oh, because you know this.
Yeah.
What happened? So sometimes I've seen management support a shareholder proposal because they agree with it.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of no recommendations, but how did this become such a large victory? Just because of a no recommendation? I don't really get this one. Do you follow this?
Isn't this the Accountability Board did the John Chevedden, right? Like, isn't this what the typical governance ask is? You got a supermajority, get rid of the supermajority and make it just majority.
Okay, I guess I'm surprised it's that high. It's higher than Beth Ford.
But I do think the average for replacing a supermajority vote tends to be in the 80+% range. Okay. It's actually really high support generally.
Okay, so with shareholders that pro, governance moves, how many supported a proposal asking for an independent chair?
I think that was like 12 or 13%.
All right, you know all this. Yes, it was 12%. And I was going to ask you, why is it so low? Do you know the answer? Because I know why.
Oh, I don't know why.
Because usually
it's dumb.
These days, it's usually in the 30s.
Yeah, I know.
But the reason why it was low was because it was proposed by the trolls.
That's
the
right.
National Legal and Policy Center that hates everything and hates everybody, especially if you're a woman or you're gay or trans or black, whatever. Nobody likes them. And to your point last year, you said that people are just voting against proponents. And this is why this proposal was so low.
I think you're
because everybody hates
correct.
These guys.
I think you're 100% correct. And
they're right to hate them.
On its face, this proposal is the same as a proposal from Jim McRitchie asking for an independent chair.
But yeah, we see a lot of these.
McRitchie will get 30+%, and because
even at JP Morgan, we saw it like in the 30s, I think.
Yeah, so I'm with you. That's exactly why. Yeah.
Finally, there were 4 anti-ESG, anti-woke, anti-DEI, whatever you want to call them, proposals. What was their average level of support?
My guess is that some investors are trying to show their anti-wokeness now, so the average support is going to go up this year. But
why would you want to show that? Is that I don't. Yeah, that's like showing your rash at a dinner party. Like, what are you doing?
I think it's going to be in like the 2.7% range.
Oh, you're being ambitious. It's less than 1%.
Oh, that's raw. That's horrifically wrong. I'm sorry.
Let's move on. The Democrats are examining Elon Musk's role in the suspension of the Corporate Transparency Act, which requires companies to report information about their ownership to the government, which is originally an effort to combat problems such as like money laundering and terrorism. Part of this was based on a New York Times investigation that revealed that Elon Musk was quietly operating at least 90 private companies in Texas that would have been subject to heightened disclosure. And what the New York Times is saying is that he's hiding this spending, including support for Trump, right? He was using some of these as shell companies to funnel money to Donald Trump. The Treasury Department suspended the law last March, one day after Elon Musk posted on X in response to a user frustrated about the law that he can look into it.
Yeah. No, it's not a crony government, though. It's just not.
So here's the question. Here's the quiz. Simple quiz. There's a group. Who is leading this group to examine Elon Musk? And who is in charge of this investigation?
Who? Is it Elon Musk? I mean, isn't the Doge bro?
No, I don't even know why I included this. I just wanted to praise this person because she
it's got to be
is
Elizabeth
the only
Warren.
Person who's fight. Yes, it's Elizabeth.
That's the only person.
She might be our last guardrail against everything. Really, like she really is on top of she's doing everything she can.
I think she just understands
everything. She's doing everything she can.
I think that she just understands like the business world in a way that like no one else in Congress does.
Where's everybody else though?
And not the kind of Congress where they understand insider trading and they understand how to make their own money, but like she understands regulation more than anybody else does.
I mean, this alone is a reason to vote against everything Elon Musk does at Tesla. But anyway, I just want to throw that one in there. Let's move on. We're going faster than I thought, so I'm feeling quite proud of myself. Chick-fil-A. You heard of Chick-fil-A, right? Do you have a Chick-fil-A where you live? You have a Chick-fil-A?
Yeah. There's one in town somewhere.
Chick-fil-A offers. They're offering a free. What are they offering to families if they ditch their phones at the table in a push to unplug? So they're trying to get families to unplug from their phones, and they're offering something to the families. So I have a multiple choice for you, okay?
Yeah, you gave it away, thow.
Did I?
Yeah, because you just said a free, and then you said they're offering
that was me misspeaking
it.
That's not in the copy.
Now I'm going to guess the only thing of the options that can be free. That's going to be my guess. But I want to know what the options are.
You know what's funny is we've been doing this together for too long because in the copy that I put in the actual script, I took out free because I knew you would. I knew that, but my script that has all the answers, the cheat sheet, the teacher's guide, I forgot to take out free.
Yeah, I see. I there's no free in there. Yeah.
So I wonder what you would have said. But here are the things that they would have offered families. Here's the list: total bill forgiveness.
Never. They'll never offer that.
Conversation cards sponsored by Chick-fil-A, like things a family can talk about.
That'd be weird. Yeah, they'd be greasy and gross by the end of the first day.
A signed photograph of CEO Andrew Cathy, the third generation of the Cathy family to lead the company.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that anywhere.
Early access to new menu items.
What, a different French fry? No.
Or ice cream.
It's ice cream. It's going to be ice cream.
I think I might have thrown you, though. I think you might have thought that they were just absurd enough to give a photograph picture, like an autograph of the CEO.
No, that is so Damien written. That is so.
I just think it's so funny that we're trying to. Look, I like very gently applaud this, right? They're trying to get families to unplug their phones, but they're giving them ice cream like that. They're just giving you fat and sugar. Like, come on, you could do a little bit better than that. Give them like a carrot.
Honestly, like what I'm curious about is how they're monitoring it. Is there somebody like walking by every 20 seconds to make sure you're not like looking at your phone under the table? Slap the phone out
of their greasy hands. Yeah.
Like, what's the deal?
Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings says, this is an article from Fortune. Fortune has some good stuff, and then they have stuff like this. Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings says his first boss out of college would wash his dirty mugs at 4:30 a.m. So now he does a favor for his staff too. He returns the favor for his staff too. That's the headline. Now, that's the
headline?
Yes, this is the headline.
What a dumb article.
So I'll read you a little bit from the article. Reed says, one morning I came in very early to the office at 4:30 and I went into the bathroom and there was my CEO and he's washing coffee cups. And I was like, Barry, are you washing my coffee cups? And he said, yes. And I said, have you been doing that all year? He said, yes. And I'm like, why? And he said, well, you do so much for us, and this is the one thing I can do for you. Isn't that a nice like CEO worker moment there?
No.
There's a
Give
subtext.
Him a fucking bonus if he does that much.
There's a subtext to this article that I didn't tell you about, which is that Reed assumed the janitor was washing the coffee mugs and was shocked that the CEO was washing something. I just thought that was cute that he's got this great class system where they can't wash their own coffee mugs.
Where was his first job?
Reed, why are you like dumping your dirty coffee mugs? And there's workers everywhere wash their own coffee mugs.
Take care of your own shit, Reed. The fact that you left your coffee mug in there.
He said there were dozens. He said there's like dozens of them.
What are you people doing? What company was that he worked for?
It was like he was coding at a company when he was 28. I don't remember the name of it. But okay, so
like there's 9 people at the company and this grand CEO.
These were all
like
his.
23?
He said they were all his. All his coffee mugs.
Oh, what a fucking baby.
So then the question is, how is Reed returning the favor to his staff? What's he doing?
Oh, I don't get a multiple choice on this? I just have to straight up guess?
Yeah.
It's definitely not washing coffee mugs.
Well, it says he returns the favor. How do you know it's not?
He bought them coffee mugs. That's my guess.
You basically got it. I love that he turned this story. You know what he's doing? You know what the billionaire's doing? He's buying coffee for his staff.
Yeah, that's right. That's what
he thinks is the equivalent of going in at 4:30 and washing stuff. He thinks the equivalent is buying coffee for people.
Because the magnanimous CEO provides coffee for his minions.
I mean, if he was raking their leaves, I'd be impressed. He's buying them something.
Yeah, with the money he's not paying them extra, you know?
Stretch for a billionaire. Investors, have you seen this one? Investors are suing to vote on ESG proposals meet corporate pushback. So this is, okay, so we talked about As You Sow.
Yeah, As You Sow.
Who are they suing?
They're suing Chubb, I think.
Yeah, actually, that's right. So a lot of companies are facing these lawsuits and they're just settling because the whole thing is stupid. Because they're suing because the Paul Atkins and the SEC are dopey, and they're letting companies exclude all these shareholder proposals. So the proponents are very rightly suing, being like, the SEC is dopey. They're not doing their job. But two companies are pushing back on the lawsuits. They're not settling. They're actually they're fighting, and that's Chubb and BJ's Wholesale Club. I love that it's Chubb and BJ's. It's like the two most sophomoric companies I can think of. Now, so I looked at some of the governance at these companies. Chubb, there's 13 directors, only 3 are women. So that's 23% of the board are women with 13% total influence. So they don't listen to women at Chubb. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That sounds like every place.
So here's the question. Here's the quiz question. There are only 3 women on Chubb's board. How many Michaels are there on Chubb's board?
Oh, at least 3. Yeah, at least 3. I'm going to go with 3.
Yeah, that's right. It's 3. Yeah. 3 Michaels and 3 women.
Well, no, let's be fair. One is Michael, one is Mike, and one is an M dog, right? Like that's.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. CEO and chair Evan Greenberg has been at the helm for 22 years. How many years has he served along lead independent director Michael Connors? How long has Michael Connors been on?
Oh, well, we know the average lead independent director tenure is 12 years. So at least 12.
Is that right?
Yeah. No, I'm dead serious. In the United States of America, we consider somebody a lead independent director when they've been there on average 12 years. So I'm going to go with 14 because it's probably above average.
Basically right. It's 15. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See? Know the data, baby.
So the point is here, Chubb doesn't give a shit about shareholders. We should do some kind of a analysis, and I think you're going to find a lot of these types of companies are the ones who don't care about their shareholders.
Well, the more insular the board and the longer tenure the executives in the board, the more bro heavy it is. Yeah, they tend not to. But what's interesting is will they let in like the anti-woke proposals? Because we're seeing the trend is reversed, where we're seeing like as you sow and Chevedden and McRitchie, they're getting tossed. Like they're getting no actioned effectively, but the companies are letting through all the anti-woke to get a solid 1% support every single time. So,
well, hats off to Starbucks. I did make this prediction. We did a crossover show with shareholder primacy. I did think it would be like kind of a bellwether of which companies just say yes, right? I mean, Starbucks seemed to say yes because
Starbucks didn't care.
Because my point was like, why would you exclude these? Like, at least take a poll of your investors on things.
Also, you recognize that it doesn't take you any time if you just make no recommendation with any of them, because what do you care? And you know that 99% of them are going to fail. They almost never win.
And the companies on the board are liars. There's no expense. There's no time commitment to these. You just put them up on the proxy. None of this matters.
Let's say there is an expense, and the average expense that they've estimated is like $100,000 per proposal because you need to hire an external lawyer.
No,
by rule you have to bring in a third party lawyer to review whatever it is. But let's say that is true. You are still talking about less than the cost of a single executive at any of these companies. It's basically like Mark Zuckerberg has a $20 million security cost.
Yeah, well, that I understand.
So we are fucking worried about the $10 you have to spend for Bernie's like backyard law to look at your proposal and put it on a proxy.
What did you say? Bernie's backdoor laws?
Yeah.
All right, BJ's, 30% women. With 14% influence.
Ooh, negative 16%, yeah.
2 of the 10 key executives at BJ's are women. Okay, that's the backdrop.
That's a lot.
So, yeah, it does seem like a lot. So, with that information, how many of BJ's 6 key board leadership positions are held by women?
None.
Right, none.
Yeah.
None. 0.
You don't get to 30% female influence, 30% female board with 14% influence at
this company does not give
company.
A shit.
Yeah,
they do not want to hear a woman's input. They are.
Yeah, shut up, ladies.
Despite the fact that I've never been to BJ's Wholesale Club. I am assuming it's a lot like Costco. I got to tell you, the primary shoppers I see at Costco are women. I mean, but this company does not give a crap. They don't want to hear input from women.
Isn't BJ's owned by?
I don't even
Walmart? Know. Like, is it the
No,
Walton
that's
family?
Sam's Club, I thought.
Oh, you're right. That's Sam's Club. I get them confused because it's Sam Walton. That's right.
Yeah. Sam
So
Walton.
BJ's is just stupid.
Okay. One more. Only one more quiz question.
Wow.
I bet you're relieved.
Wow.
We're flying.
This is the best show we've ever done.
I thought we were going to take a lot more time on the French story, but I think that the
only you care about that.
The producers were right to rush us through that.
I will.
Yeah. What was the juxtaposition you were angry about?
That
earlier?
was the juxtaposition between the
ahead.
French company and Starbucks. You have a situation at Starbucks where Marissa Mayer is on the board of Starbucks with Brian Niccol and on the board of Walmart with Brian Niccol. You have a situation where Brian Niccol made $96 million in reported pay, not realized pay, last year. The company's not doing better. Jürgen Nutstorp and Beth Ford were targeted by multiple shareholders for problems that they had because the committee that got dissolved. No one is held accountable. You're telling me that having a direct board interlock gives you 99% approval from investors, but one guy doesn't speak French and the fucking country flips out.
As they should have, yeah.
But juxtaposition is investors clearly don't care about anything in this country.
But the point is that you're slightly wrong because the U.S. has freaked out about Brian Niccol's pay. I've seen more reporting about his pay. And remember last year he had a 6,666 pay ratio to 1 pay ratio?
Yeah.
I've seen more reporting in the regular news, more angry customers and investors, at least retail investors, than I've seen in a while about CEO pay.
They haven't negotiated with the unions that formed because of the bullshit at Starbucks, and it's still not done. What on earth is happening in which investors think, this is the board that is totally fine?
It's protected class. I give credit to Canada and Quebec. They fought back. It's not a protected class up there.
Well, that's why it blew my mind because it's like there are a couple companies that would be easy to sort of get angry with, given the fact that Starbucks has shit returns, right? Like if you care about anything having to do with the stock market, whether it's returns or earnings or governance or whatever it is, Starbucks is a model candidate to vote against. And yet somehow the head of Air Canada got tossed for not saying bonjour and adieu enough. And in this country, nothing happens. In fact, on LinkedIn today, I just put up from the zine.
Yeah.
Because I was so frustrated with the fact that investors care so little about the Starbucks board that I took our 10 years of drinks database. So if you don't know, Starbucks directors are forced to pick their favorite drink and put it in the proxy. I took the 2026 drinks and I correlated them to the votes. And it turns out investors, the only correlation that mattered, it wasn't performance, it wasn't board interlocks and connections, it wasn't their knowledge of the board of the teams. It was directors who picked the highest sweetened, heavy, sugary drinks got on average the lowest votes for. That was the only thing that, the European drinks like the lattes, the cordados, those all got the highest votes. The pure octane drinks like the black coffees and like Americanos, those got middle votes, and sugary drinks got the lowest.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was doing an analysis of that before the conference at CII. Believe it or not, I was doing an analysis of the drinks at Starbucks. And the reporting online says that those drinks that you referred to are more associated with women and young women, like the sugary, colorful. So I'm not surprised that that's the correlation of there's a low vote correlation there. We started a theory back in the day, and all of our theories are correct, 100% correct. So
I know.
People don't pick up on them; they're idiots. But remember, there was a point of time where a lot of companies were hiring Southeast Asian CEOs, and we picked up on this, and we talked about it. What Howard Schultz was doing was he was maintaining control of his empire. He was giving himself a way to boomerang back in case it didn't work out.
Yep.
And it was easy to fire Laxman Narasimhan if his plan didn't work in 18 months because he's just a Southeast Asian CEO. No one cares about him.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what happened. So to your point, I think the investors were happy just to fire Laxman, right? Like that was the sacrificial lamb in this situation, right?
Well, to round out the theory, because this was your theory, we saw this at Microsoft with Satya Nadella. We saw it at Google Alphabet with Sundar Pichai. We saw it at Adobe. Well, no, the Adobe guy had been around a while. But we saw it at FedEx with
there's a lot of them.
Supermanian. Yeah. There's a lot of these examples in which you have generally outsized founders or dual class shares, or like big personalities, or like as CEOs who step down.
Struggling.
Yeah. The company starts struggling. They step down. They put in place a quiet, unassuming Southeast Asian male
that people can't yell at,
that no one gets angry at,
and that no one will think about, right? Because now everyone knows about Brian Niccol and his horrible pay package. No one knows about Laxman Narasimhan.
They give him an 18 to 24 month lease on the company, and then if
month to month.
If the company does well, they keep him around. But
Howard takes the credit. Yeah.
And if the company fails, they immediately fire them. Gone.
Yeah.
And then they replace them with another outsized, big mouth, fucking white guy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There you go. All right, the last question of the day for the quiz, the fabulous quiz of March 31st, 2026.
The best quiz you've ever come up with.
Here's the headline. A CEO trying to re-industrialize America says blue-collar pay is headed for massive hyperinflation and kids should skip college to become welders.
Yeah.
We see this a lot recently. We're seeing a lot of CEOs who are basically saying college is horrible. Just do manual labor. That's the future they want.
Lift some rocks. I'm excited to get back to a period where we can build the pyramids.
Yeah. Let us figure all the complicated stuff out. You don't go to college. Don't worry about it. Just work on your pecs so that you can push that boulder up the hill, right?
Yeah. And not only that, we will take all the money from when the boulder's at the top of the hill.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah. And don't unionize. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
But don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is from a company called Hadrian Automation. I'm going to explain this company to you. A high-tech manufacturing company that builds software-defined factories for the aerospace and defense industries, of course, using AI-powered software. So unlike a traditional machine shop, which relies on the knowledge of its veteran machinists, right? This relies on AI to figure everything out.
Didn't he just say to become a machinist?
Yeah, but again, we don't want we don't need knowledge. We just need brute strength, right?
Oh, because so you just need someone who could hold the fiery implement.
Yes.
But you don't need them to know what they're doing.
The AI is now the brain trust, and you're going to toil.
What a fucking horrible version of humanity.
But hey, I only capture this because this is just like with the Southeast Asian CEOs, we didn't just mention it because it happened once. There was a pattern forming that had never existed in governance before. And it's the same here. This is a pattern we're seeing with American CEOs. What is the name of Hadrian's CEO? Okay, I got a multiple choice.
Oh, good, because I have no idea.
Is it Duke Thunder?
Come on.
Rex Charger?
Oh, wait, these are real.
Yeah, it's a multiple choice. Chris Power?
Oh, no.
Blaze Cannon? Or Jack Hammer?
Jack Hammer is not, because it's Jackhammer. You just unportmanteaued it.
Yeah, you don't know.
That's such a Damien move to do Jackhammer. Rex Charger is it's not that. It's not that. Duke Thunder, it's not that. Blaze Cannon is just absurd enough that it could be that, but it's Chris Power. That's my guess.
Yeah, it's Chris Power. but really, those five names are synonymous, are they not? Those are all the same name.
That's just, I'm just reading you. I'm not reading the names at all. That's just purely.
So the final question today for the quiz: did Chris Power graduate from college?
No, he did not.
Of course not. No. This is our new. These are our new leaders. They are boys who drop out of college and then tell us how to run the world. This is it. This is
not to go to college, but to be a welder.
Be a welder. Listen to me. I know everything. I'm going to do it all with AI, which is also developed by other college dropouts.
Can I just say though, like for the record, out of everything in this quiz, the Xerox pull was by far the greatest pull.
Well, you know what I loved about the Xerox pull that no one else can care about is that the first 3 answers were all 3, and I was gonna. And in my head, I thought it was funny because Xerox is like a copy. I was like loving this when I was writing it. I know,
that's
so
all
stupid.
we got. That's Hazelnut Rallis, Damien to his mom. I'm your analyst, Matt Muscardi. We are Free Float. Come back on Thursday. Do we have a proxy countdown? Are we supposed to have a proxy countdown?
There's not a lot going on, but let's try to scrape something together.
We're going to quit on it.
It's just we don't have there's not a lot of meetings yet.
No, we'll just do a data. Why don't I just do a pure data proxy countdown? I'll lead it. And then Friday, we got our wrap up of the week.
Oh, yeah.
There's a shareholder primacy coming out tomorrow. That's with Mike Levin and Lipton. Finally, we get some intelligent people in the room. Until then, goodbye.